Emergency update for anyone wanting to relocate to Gibraltar. Today, the Gibraltarian government announced that any residency applications from UK or European Economic Area countries are suspended. So this came into effect around 7 p.m. today, the 6th of October, and is said to be temporary, but no time frame has been given. So it could be weeks, months, we just don't know. They amended their Immigration, Asylum and Refugee Act to prevent any further residency cards or documentation being issued. The reason is that there's been a huge spike in people coming to Gib and wanting to live here. So they've given permanent residency to 3,000 migrants over the last 3 years. If you're from the UK or the US, you would think, wow, that's nothing. But if you consider there's only around 34,000 people living here, that's a big chunk of people. I've heard from insiders that the normal number of residency applications has increased from around 35 per week to 550 per week. They don't have the manpower to deal with that. If residency was granted to so many people, it would push up the prices even higher in Gibraltar. In the last few months, I have noticed there are hardly any studios and one-bedroom flats on the market. They've all been sucked up by the people who are suddenly rushing over. The government stated the rules are designed to prevent abuse of the system. I think there's a few factors leading to this influx. I think UK citizens who want access to the EU, now it's been announced that Gibraltar will be part of the Schengen zone, are coming en masse trying to beat a deadline. And I think at some stage they would have had to impose a deadline. And I even remember being here last November and talking to people about this. Otherwise the system would be overwhelmed by British people wanting to come here and relocate. But interestingly, this also applies to EU countries, which means they also must be getting applications from EU countries as well. And it's also interesting how the government says this is to prevent abuse of the system. So my interpretation of that is people from the UK who are coming here just to try to be part of the Schengen zone without really wanting to contribute to society, or who don't have any interest in Gibraltar or wanting to be part of the society, I guess. They're just coming for different reasons. I think as Western economies and currencies are failing and governments are getting more and more desperate, they're increasing taxation, they're trying to get more money from their citizens, and people see Gibraltar as an escape. It's a very attractive proposition as there's no capital gains, there's no VAT, no inheritance tax. It's the early hours of the 7th of October. I really wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, as I know many people who follow me actually are planning on relocating to Gibraltar, and I wanted you to get this news ASAP. So if you are planning on coming here to live, then what should you do? Well, if you've already made your application before the 6th of October, it will be processed. If you haven't, then don't panic, because firstly, this is supposed to be temporary. We don't know what that means, but it could be that you can, still come here and then apply in a month or 2 months. Don't really know. The other thing, as far as I understand at the moment, and this may have changed, always get tax advice and legal advice if you're going to move countries. Don't rely on a YouTube channel. But from what I understand, if you have a UK passport, you can live and work in Gibraltar without a visa. You can still come here. It just means you can't apply for permanent residency. So you can pay tax without having a residency card. Whether that makes you a tax resident, I guess it does, but the complication would be that HMRC would potentially still see you as a UK taxpayer if you don't have that residency card. So you can live here and you can work, but the advantage of the card is that you get healthcare, you can get a Gibraltarian driver's license, and you get free public transport. So you'd have to do some research and get legal advice. For me personally, there's been a massive delay. So I've been waiting 5 months, and I'm not even halfway through the ID card application process. They've now turned off the phone lines, so you can't phone and get any update. Any emails that I do receive from that department, they're not from an individual person. It just says the Department of Employment or whatever. I can't remember what it is. So I do feel like my situation is precarious. I don't know whether I'm going to get the residency card or not. And if I don't, it's going to be a massive, enormous waste of money and time and effort for me. I've spent almost 6 months here. I've paid for 12 months of a rental contract, I've paid to rent an office, I've spent so much time filling out paperwork and trying to become part of society here. So it would be disappointing, but it would also be a massive waste of money for me. So don't be too despondent if you do want to move here, because it's still possible you can do, and I'm still going to keep making videos about the area. Please subscribe for more updates on the situation. I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything. I've got my ear to the ground, as they say. Give this video a like if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.